One of the most important things you can do as a content creator is repurpose your material. That means using something that worked really well over here and it's good and you get some good response from it, and now you put it over here in different formats. There's ways to do it and there's ways not to also. In this episode, we're going to show you what you can do and how that can help you in the kind of work you're doing. I'm Terry Brock with Stark Raving Entrepreneurs. We're going to talk in this episode for you on the art of content repurposing, maximizing your creative efforts. This is something that is so exciting when you see the capabilities of it and how it can work and how it's going to help you in many different ways. One of the ways you're going to be able to do is learn how you can effectively reuse the content and transform it, the existing content that you have, across multiple platforms while avoiding some of those common pitfalls, the things that we all fall into from time to time. What you're going to be able to do is be able to see, okay, here's how to do it and here's what can be done, because multi-purposing your content, taking something that worked over here and use it over there, maybe in a different format, can really, really help. It's going to be better for your reach from a marketing point of view. And hey, it's going to be easier for you too, rather than having to always come up with something new. Much like it's better to keep a current customer than to go out and get a new customer, it's easier to repurpose the content you already got versus going out and having to create something else all the time. So you'll be able to use both of these. We're going to show you how to do it in this particular video. First of all, let's take a look at why in the world would you want to repurpose your content? Kind of make the case for it and say, well, why would you do that? What are the benefits from it? Well, first of all, you extend the content lifespan. What you're doing is you're giving your content a second life, a new chance in new formats. Something that worked really well, say in video, now gets a chance to do well, say in audio only. So older content gets discovered by fresh audiences. For example, you might have someone that is enjoying what you did on YouTube. They like YouTube. Other people might not see it. They don't have time for a YouTube video, but they sure do like audio. When they're making a trip from here to here, long trip, they like to listen to that audio format. By repurposing that, it's real easy to do. You can take that. Also, other people don't have time for either. They're real fast, moving fast, but they sit down and they read a LinkedIn article. Oh, so now what you've done, you've taken the transcript and you've moved it into a text format so you can use it there. Hey, that makes a lot of sense. Plus, you can take that text format, and part of repurposing is customizing it a little bit. You don't necessarily have to. You can copy and paste. What we recommend often is that you copy, paste, and then customize. That's the key. Copy, paste, and customize. So you might add a little extra. You're talking about these things that are really important, and then you remember, oh, I heard that in a conference I went to last April, and it was really good when the speaker was saying this, she said that really well. Well, you go in there and you put that little extra in there. Those extras that you put in really make all the difference in the world. Now, another thing you're going to do is you'll reach new audiences. You'll reach the audiences because people will consume your content differently. Some prefer videos, some prefer podcasts or reading. Like I was saying, they want it in different formats. You're going to be able to help in many different areas. And then also, here's a real good one for you and me as content creators. You're going to save time and resources. You get a chance to leverage, now there's a word that's real important, leverage existing content instead of creating from scratch. By doing that, you're going to cut down on your research and planning costs. It'll make sure that you get a lot more done in a lot less time. Also, what you want to do is you want to improve on your online presence. You're going to make sure that it gets better all the time over there, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be getting better SEO, and search engine optimization, which is still important, changing right now in terms of what I like, Neil Patel says, search everything optimization. Searching all over the place. Well, by putting it in other places on the same topic, you improve your search rankings and more likely that people will see it. More opportunities to rank for related keywords. Also, HubSpot did a study recently that was about businesses updating their older blogs posts, saw up to 106% increase in organic traffic. Think about that. You can get that much increase. That is definitely worth looking into. Plus, look at your brand consistency. Now, here's where it really starts sparkling. You strengthen your identity on this. By using core ideas across platforms, it ensures you're consistent. You're saying the same thing in different ways wherever you go. Your audience recognizes that distinct voice. And this is something that's important. Like, for instance, at Stark Raving Entrepreneurs, one of the things we talk about a lot is the idea of live and let live. We believe you should live your life as an entrepreneur. Get out there, do whatever you want. Just do not harm others. Don't take their stuff. You do that, and that's good. Now, some people might say, okay, live and let live, but then it's all right to take money from someone else in this case. And we go, no, that's not right. You want to be consistent. And by using multi-purposing, by putting in different kinds of content in the same content message, but in different ways, you're going to help people get a lot more done in a lot less time also. Also, by using multi-platform recognition, it's really good. You're using the same concepts across your blog, your podcast, your social, and that keeps your brand familiar to audiences. Oh yeah, Stark Raving Entrepreneurs. They're the people that help entrepreneurs to build their business using the live and let live idea as the foundation. Okay, we keep saying that over and over. People get the idea and say, okay, that's good. That's what we want. And you're unifying your messages. So your messages are unified. I like that idea. You're going to have a consistent theme that reinforces your experience, their experience in whatever they're doing, and your expertise. Their experience is helped because of your expertise in those areas. Also, you want to maximize your high-performing content. Identify the winners first and foremost. Make sure that you can look at the content that's performing well in one format. There's a good chance it's going to do well over in that other place, because you think about it, you're dealing with people that are looking for information. We work with content creators and show them key ways they can use AI and other tools to build their business. And so what worked over here, say in our YouTube video, is going to work for those who are listening on podcast. They just choose to consume it in different ways. Some people like to listen to it in audio after they've watched it on video. That helps us to learn something about our cognitive mindset. Psychologists who are way smarter than me about education and how we learn, psychologists talk about that in many ways. By getting exposure to new material in different areas, you're going to be able to do a lot of good things in many different areas. Also, you multiply your reach. You transform the top blogs into podcasts and infographics and social posts. Think of all the ways you can take it and twist it and show it in different formats. And you can target different segments. Each format represents unique audience segments with the same message. So think about that. On one thing, for instance, on TikTok, you've got a predominantly different age group than you do in LinkedIn. Different demographics probably. Well, you can take that same message you have and repurpose it. Going back to what we're talking about, live and let live. Over in TikTok, they're going to relate to that in a different way. Younger generation's going to want something a little bit different. Show them ways they can do what they want. As they get older, you do the kind of work you'd want. You don't have anybody have to tell you what to do. Over on LinkedIn, you can talk about ways, hey, you've worked hard to get this. Now you've got it. And we believe in live and let live, meaning you don't hurt others, you don't take their stuff, and they shouldn't take yours. That's the way it works. Now, you deal with that in another way when people do, but that's a whole other story. But what you want to do is make sure you're targeting those different segments, different ways, and making sure you're getting maximum for your content that you're creating. And another thing you want to do, you want to boost your audience engagement. This is really important. You want to make sure that those people who are attending your sessions, whether it's live in person or if it's on some form of medium, that they're going to find they get multiple exposures and you're more apt to learn it better that way. For instance, audiences will engage with content again when it's presented differently. Sometimes they might have seen the video, but when they can read the text, maybe with some pictures added, it could add to the learning experience for them. Plus, knowing that it might be just a little bit different with some extra examples, hey, that's even better. Lots of good there. And check out the format preferences. Some people prefer to have a quick video, while others want in-depth articles. So you want to have a multitude of ways that people can reach you and you can reach them. And also, you probably heard of the learning styles psychologists tell us about. Like some people are kinesthetic, they want more of the experience there. Others learn more visually, and others learn more through audible. So you want to make sure that you've got something available. Many visual, auditory, and reading learners all get their content in their preferred way. So they're going to say, hey, I like to read more. I know, for instance, Gina likes to listen to a lot of audio. I do too, but she likes it more. I tend to like to read text, so I can see text, or I'll like to listen to video and watch a video, but I'll watch it at a faster speed. I want to be able to jump around. I want to be able to pause it. I want to be able to go into that video, and if somebody gives a reference, I like a video and I go, oh, that's really good, and they mention something, what I want to do is be able to freeze that frame, go over and look into what's going on in other areas. I can reference it, look at the websites they referenced or more, do a little more study, then come back to the video and restart the video at that point. This is how people learn in different ways. So you want to adapt to that, whatever you're doing. And then you want to navigate those algorithm changes. Have you noticed that? The algorithms keep changing all the time. Well, they have a right to do that, but you've got to reduce your risk. One of the things you can do there is understand the algorithms on social platforms are constantly changing. They're trying to adapt and adjust. They want to make things better. They said, gee, last week when we tried this, it didn't work so well. Maybe if we do it this way with a little twist. So they adjust it. We've got to adapt for that. And when you have a multi-platform presence, that increases your visibility. So they might have made some major changes, say this week on LinkedIn, but you're sending your message out also over there on YouTube, maybe in a post that you're putting out, a still image of words. You're reinforcing it both ways. And so whatever happens there, you're going to be able to adapt. Hootsuite did some research on this, and they found that multi-platform presence is crucial for staying visible amid algorithm shifts. So you want to make sure you have that multi-platform presence. Things are changing. Don't put yourself only on one platform. You can get hurt with that. Make sure you also have platform independence. Don't put all your control in one place. Something about don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, don't put all your content in one place. Diversify across your owned and social channels. What do we mean by that? Well, you want to make sure you're sending out, for instance, a blog or something on your WordPress site, your website. That way, your content is there, and you're not going to have Facebook come in and change it on your website. Over on Facebook, you put something there, and they might think, ooh, we don't like that. They have a right to take it off because that is their platform. So you want to make sure you're diversifying for a multitude of reasons. This is where smart people are operating today as content entrepreneurs. And then you want to maintain consistent output. Boy, this is important. The 3 points to this one. Number one, create your core content. And you want to break it into smaller pieces. So now you've got your core content here, but you break it up into different areas. For instance, we're over on Taja a lot, because Taja really embraces repurposing. It gives us the ability to create one long form video that might be 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or longer. We can put that in there and it goes through and it breaks it up into little chunks for us. I like that a lot. And then you can schedule strategically. Yet another thing we like about Taja is that it gives you the ability to take that clip, that 1 minute and 37-second clip, for instance, that is really good. And you're thinking, that's nice, I like that. It's got the graphics flowing below it. It's got the words and the captions, all that's really important. I want to put that over here on LinkedIn. We want to put it on YouTube, and we'll put it over there on TikTok if we want. Something like that. You can put it there, although we're not doing much on TikTok, like zero at all, but you can do a lot, and it's a good platform. And there's a lot of options you want on there. But then you can schedule it to go out next Tuesday at 3 o'clock because you found that's a good time for your audience. That's when they like it. So now you're going to have the opportunity to get a lot more done in a lot less time and get better results. Then you also want to update, improve. Now this is important for our audiences. You want to audit your older content. Make sure that you review the past and outdated information, opportunities to enhance. This is something we talk about a lot at Stark Raving Entrepreneurs. People have content that they've created 10, 20, 30 years ago or more that's still really good. However, they might want to adjust it. I remember just the other day we were talking about that, and someone knew of some content they have. This content was written, I think, back in the 90s, and it had some real good messages in there, but there was a reference to audio cassettes. Remember that? Yeah. And if you don't, hey, Google that one. Or now we will say Perplexity that one, or ChatGPT that one. Audio cassettes. Well, what you would want to do today is say, take the message you might have on an MP3 or that you're getting over on YouTube podcasts, something like that. Update it. Plus, you might want to enhance it. You might have said something 30 years ago, and now you think, that's not really a good way to do it. Not putting aside technology, maybe that's just not a good thing to do. A better approach might be, blah, blah, blah. Or what we have found lately in dealing with people is more to do this. So now updating it, you're giving some extra energy to that older content that you had before, and you're getting some really good capabilities with it in many, many different ways. This is something we highly recommend that you work with. So audit that older content, stay up with it, and then refresh the new data. Make sure that you've got with updated statistics, make sure you've got examples and references with current information. Real important there. And then republish with those improvements. Add your new sections in there with visuals and the formats based on your audience feedback, because they might say, we like this, and then they might not want something else. And then make sure you're looking at that ROI of repurposing. This is critical. They told us this in business school. It was a really good idea. Check your ROI. Well, as I mentioned before, 100% traffic increase has been documented in studies coming out from HubSpot. The potential organic traffic growth is there when you're updating your older blog post. So go back there to that digital format, blow the dust off it, digitally speaking, of course, put that in there so people will see what's there. And notice what kind of increase you're getting. We're seeing that happen for us, going back and refreshing some of the good things. And also get this, not just a 106% increase, but a 3 times, that's 300%. Content reach. When you use typical multiplication of audience, when you're using multiple formats. You're saying, here's something on LinkedIn. Here's something also over on YouTube. Here's something over on our blog that you can use. And here's something on maybe a different format. Another way, by the way, of repurposing that is really good and we recommend for energizing what you're doing is guest podcasting. Be a guest on someone else's podcast. I've got a friend today, a little bit later this afternoon, as I'm recording this, I'm going to be on their podcast, getting a chance to get out there, talk about what's going on with AI, some of the current episodes of what's happening, current developments, new areas where we're finding entrepreneurs using it and getting really good feedback from it. So those are things you want to keep doing. And then also 60% time saved. There's a reduction in the content creation time compared to starting from scratch. Think about that. Think about how much time it takes you to create brand spanking new content, which we all have to do. Now, there's some tools you can use, and we're going to be showing how to do that using tools like Taja, like Cast Magic, like Gamma, like many others. Camtasia is another one that we're using, and using Ecamm, excuse me, not C, but Ecamm. These are various tools. You might think, well, what are they and how can you use them? And you feel a little bit overwhelmed, but with a proper planning, you can make sure that you get through in a wonderful way and you're saving yourself 60% time saved. Hey, I'd say that's a real good thing when you see what's going on and how to do it. So here's something you can do. Putting this together, repurposing success path. What you want to do is start with consistent growth. Have sustainable audience and revenue expansion. Make sure you're constantly doing this. New plans with it. Using a calendar is good, like we use in Taja. It gives us the ability to use that calendar and plan it. So I can look at a calendar and go, oh, we don't have anything scheduled for next Thursday. Need to put something in there. And what time is good? Well, according to the past and according to research that we found from AI, this time of day is best for our group. So we'll put it somewhere around in there on this platform, this one, and yeah, let's put it on that one as well. All within one tool gives us the ability to do that. I like that a lot. Then refine your strategy. Optimize it based on your performance data of what's happening. Then implement your systems. Get out there and do it. Create the workflows for regular purposing. What you want there is that old word, systems. One of the most important things you can do is develop systems for everything that's important that you do, which is, well, just about everything. System on how to do it, what to do it. Now, I have to really credit Gina on this, because Gina Carr, my partner and my fiance, she went to Georgia Tech and majored in systems and industrial engineering. Well, systems is really important, and those engineers knew what to do and how to do it. By the way, Georgia Tech was rated #1 school in the world for that too, which is pretty good. Better than MIT, better than Stanford, and they're both damn good. And you want those systems for you. So you want to implement systems for your workflow. We talk a lot about that at Stark Raving Entrepreneurs also. How to do it, what to do, and even more importantly, what not to do. Yeah, stop doing that. Do this instead. Focus on those A+ activities going to help you to get ahead and achieve the goals that you want for your work. And identify new opportunities. Analyze the top content for repurposing potential. Hey, what's working over there? That one might work over here as well. Have those kind of meetings with your team. And here's some things to avoid too. It's not all just the things to do. Here's some real important mistakes you want to avoid. Pitfalls like copy and pasting without adaptation. Just copying something, putting it in there, not a good idea. What you want to do is, I recommend that you copy, paste, and then customize. That is really important. What you want to do is, by using that, you're going to be able to copy something that you have, that you might see, then you paste it over here. That's good, but don't stop there. You want to go over here and customize. Turn it around a little bit. Matter of fact, that's what I've been doing on this presentation. I put these slides in here. I went out and did my research, looked at it, found what was working, what I liked, what I didn't like, put that in there, and then brought it in, and then customized it with pictures of my own that I've created. Put it into Gamma and let Gamma do it, and then move it around a little bit from there. So it's got me doing the work. AI is an assistant. So one of the main things you want to do is make sure that when you're doing this, that you're doing it in the right way and that you're using the right things. So copying, pasting, no, not that. But you want to also watch out for neglecting the platform optimization. You're going to present your message differently on TikTok than you would on LinkedIn. It's going to be different there on different formats. You want to adapt to that platform. It's like you're going to wear different clothes if you go to a formal evening attire versus going to the beach. Obviously, same person, but you want different styles of clothing, different ways of doing it. Watch out for inconsistent branding. That means colors too. And I don't know much about colors, okay? I'm not real good on that. But others who know this say, watch out for it. Gina knows a lot more about that than I do, and many other people are smart on that. So you want to make sure that it's consistent. And also failing to update your data. You don't want to put something out there that was true so long ago. And by the way, in AI, that could be last week's material. So stay on top of it as much as you can. And then there's also some legal and ethical considerations. I'm no lawyer, and this is not legal advice. You need to see your own lawyer for that. But these are general ideas that are important to get permissions. Make sure that when you use something, you have the rights to all of that content and the elements. Make sure you do. For instance, this picture, let me get really nitty gritty here. That picture above there, I created it by typing in the words that are different, that are unique to me, and I put it in there. When I talk to copyright lawyers, they say, these are not my words, but what copyright lawyers are saying in general, you want to make sure that you put as much customization and uniqueness of you in there as possible. Make sure you see your copyright lawyer before making decisions on that. Get your own legal opinion. I'm not offering any legal advice here. Hey, in the MBA program, I had one class in business law, and that does not give me the right to give any legal advice, okay? So you want to stay with it. And also respect the collaborators. When they have it, get explicit approval for your guest content repurposing. Hey, Mary, you did a great job on that interview. Is it all right if we send that out and amplify it a little bit more for you? Would that be all right? If Mary says, oh, I felt so embarrassed, please do not use that ever again. Okay, I might not like that, but I'm going to honor Mary's wish, my hypothetical, in quotes here, Mary, that I'm going to make sure I honestly go along with what she wants, and then properly license it. In other words, verify your music, your image, and your footage permission, that you have the right to use that. There are ways to do it now that you can pay a certain amount of money, and you're covered for that. Make sure you're doing it the right way. Also, make sure you always check those rights before repurposing content with elements you don't fully own. This protects your brand from potential legal issues. Really important. And your action plan. Let's look at this here. This is going to be really important. You got to make sure you're taking notes on this. Here's where you really want to take some notes on it. And I got some of the best stuff coming up for you in just a moment. Audit your existing content. Take a look at it. Identify the high-performing pieces with repurposing potential. Hey, this one's doing real well over here. Might want to try that again as well. Map out the format conversions. Look at what you've got there. Plan which formats work best for each piece. Hey, they really liked this over on LinkedIn. Good. On YouTube, they didn't care for that as much. That's interesting. Okay, maybe we remember that and go different. Over here on Facebook, this one went really well. Okay, that's good to know. Also, measure your results. Do the analytics and check them. Track your performance across the formats and the platforms to see what happened. This is really critical. And then here's something most important. Again, you hear me talk about this a lot. Create your systems. Again, as Gina would tell us, we want those systems to work for you. Develop your workflow and consistent repurposing. I find the more I do that, the better off I am. And matter of fact, one of the things that I find that's really important for me is doing more content creation and doing it more than once a week. As I'm doing it more, I'm getting used to it. When I did it only once a week, I didn't do as well. I bump into some of the same mistakes over and over because it takes me a while to learn this. But when I'm doing it multiple times, hey, I'm remembering it better. So there's a lot of good here in repurposing and making sure you're doing that on a consistent and regular basis. And finally, I want to leave you with this from Foster Capital's 2024 analysis position, repurposing as a strategic imperative. That's critical. This is so important. It's not just a nice idea or tactically a good thing. Strategically imperative for transforming single assets into multi-platform campaigns, arguing that the metamorphosis of content forms directly correlated with improved conversion rates. So what you want to do is make sure that you're improving this, going back and forth in different ways all the time, making sure that what you're getting there is going to be something that is going to work profoundly well for a number of people in your audience. And when you get down to it, really, you're doing this for your audience. They want different kinds of formats. They want to see your message repeated so that they hear a good message. They go, hey, I like that. Then they hear it over here. They saw it over here. Now they hear it over here. Now they experience it again in a different environment. All of that is good. Well, I know we've given you a lot of good information here. I've got some good news for you. The good news is we put together a special program for you that's easy to follow and it keeps you updated. AITools4biz.com. If you're hearing this on an audio format, that's AI Tools, the number 4, biz.com. And that's all in lowercase. So use that. We talk about many different tools that you're going to be able to use. They're going to help you like DALL-E 3, Canva, we use a lot and love it to pieces. ChatGPT, of course, we use that in many different formats and the different kinds of flavors that they have for reasoning and for research, all of that real nice. Also using Perplexity. Perplexity gives us a lot of capabilities there as well. Also talking about OpenAI and Lexica.art, tools like that. Udly is there and Stable Diffusion. And we've just added some extra goodies over there for you so that you're going to be able to use those as well. Well, this is one of the things we've done with it. Just to pull the curtain back a little bit, we use Canva so we can update this regularly for you with new ideas, new videos, new ways to learn. It's a great way for you and your team to come up to speed fast on some of this technology to see how it works and what can be done with it and how you can start using it again. And for those of you catching this on video, here's a QR code you can use to grab that real quickly. AITools4biz.com is again the place to go for that because you're going to get some good information there. And we've got some other videos for you as well. So click on these videos to see what is there. Videos on using Perplexity, using Ontaja. Many of those lead to it. It's kind of like a string. Jump on there and you get a chance to see all of those. Hey, thanks for joining me. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. How are you using repurposing and what's it doing for you? I'm Terry Brock. Thank you very much for joining me.